Alright guys, I hope you guys all ready for this. This is going to be Retro Mikey's Halloween extravaganza. All month of October, we are going to get with other YouTubers and we're going to see what they are passionate about with their horror franchises. But I made one big rule. No major franchises. That means for video games, we're not allowed to use Resident Evil or Silent Hill. That means for movies, you're not allowed to use Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, the big, huge blockbusters. So, for each one of these collabs, what we'll do is we'll get about 4 to 5 YouTubers. They'll go through and do their things. And at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about a franchise that I'm passionate about that is not mainstream. So, sit back, enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoy these YouTube creators. First off, let's check out Spirit Wolf Game.
This is Spirit Wolf here, and got an odd request to help out here by Retro Mikey. So Mikey, this video's for you, brother. And today we're going to be talking about horror films that most people probably don't think are horror films in general. With that being said, I'm going to talk about the Tremors franchise. As you can see, I own them all. There are 6 films in general in all this. And I'm just going to skim through them all and just talk about them one by one. Actually, there's 7, I'm sorry. But, as you see, in the first movie, we meet our protagonists, Valentine and Earl. And these guys are handyman, and they basically do odd jobs for a small Nevada town called Perfection. Little do they know, the day they are leaving Perfection, the worms attack. Me, when it comes to the movie Tremors, I see this as a horror film as a younger child. To think that there could be these super gigantic sized worms underground with tentacles, or grabbers, whatever you want to call them. In the movie they're called graboids in the first one. And they basically just would scare the living daylights out of me when I first seen them, because I thought, oh my god, what if I step outside? Are they real or are they fake? Now, most fans of the Tremors franchise, they think Tremors is a comedy because of the fact of all the silly one-liners here and there and all that. And as we see through the movies, in 2, the graboids metamorphosize or change into what is now known as the Butt Blasters, but that's not their real name. I'm censoring myself so I don't get Mikey in trouble with this video. But the Butt Blasters can fly, they have heat seekers, all that. Actually, no. In 2, they deal with the Shriekers, I'm sorry. The little 2-legged little buttholes. In 3, they deal with the Butt Blasters. And 4, they go back to the old Wild Wild West. 5, to me, is a little strange, with it only focusing on Burt Gomer and him finding out that he has a son from a previous relationship he had. 6 and 7 are pretty cool, but, you know, not as good as the first one, honestly. Like I said, as a young boy, growing up, watching these films, I thought there was real underground worms waiting, listening to our stomps on the ground or whatever, and looking for a reason to come up and attack us. Figured like they were like a Russian project or something, or outer space or something like that. Overall, the Tremors franchise to me can be scary if you're a young fan and never heard of it. But as a grown ass adult and everything, with me personally, I just find it amusing and entertaining that they found some way to scare us into thinking that there was underground worms or flying, whatever you want to call them, or shriekers or whatever. Personally, if you have not seen these films, I recommend you go to Amazon or go to your local Walmart. Usually at the local Walmart you can find the 4-pack, the original first 4. Or you might find the 7-pack with all 7 films in it. And I strongly recommend watching these films. But this was my assessment of why I think the Tremors franchise is scary. Hope you enjoy, and back to you, Retro Mikey.
All right, Spirit Wolf. Man, Charles, now you got me thinking. Is it safe to be on the floor? Oh my God, Tremors. Such a good series. I really, really enjoy the series. I've always loved it. Loved the original movie. A lot of people out there didn't even know that there was a TV show that lasted 1 season on Sci-Fi. So yeah, Tremors, it's a good thing. But while we're up here waiting and trying not to be grabbed by the graboids, or maybe looking around for the ass blasters, or maybe even the shriekers, we don't know. Let's go check out and see what Linda, aka the Gamer Girl, is going to talk about.
And thank you, Retro Mikey, for having me on the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Manhunt. You probably thought I was going to talk about Saw, but I believe Manhunt is the better version. The reason why they are so closely related is you wake up in a room, you don't know what's going on, but this time you're a prisoner for Manhunt. You are in your cell like you normally are, but you wake up and you see your cell doors opened. You see a TV and the guy tells you, be the last one out and you're free to go. And everybody else has to kill you in order to get the same thing. So you have a great atmosphere. You are always on suspense. You never feel like you get a break. You never feel like you can actually rest. Even when you're having to look for something to get to the next level, like a key or a combination to be able to move on, you always are looking for weapons because you're scared that the next person that finds you is going to be bigger, badder, and way more able to withstand a bat. And so you want to find a knife or something to take them out easy. And I also liked the fact that they're more brutal with their kills. Even though Saw is gory and you always feel like, you're like, wow, they try to step it up. The one thing I liked about Manhunt is there's multiple enemies always attacking you. When you're with Saw, it feels like it's just one person and you're always having to keep attacking that one person. There is multiple people attacking you at sometimes in the cells, and you can be going through a corridor and that guy who's on the TV throws you a wrench in your actual plan, and you don't expect that, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta deal with that. So I liked Manhunt. They made 1 and 2, and they ported it to several consoles because of how popular it got. And I liked that some places actually banned it. It was so bad, it was so brutal, that there was some countries and some places in the US that wouldn't sell it at all. So I didn't find out about it until later on when it was actually banned, because I saw it on the news and I was like, wow, this game is banned, I gotta buy it. So being banned actually sometimes works out in somebody's favor. And with it being Rockstar, I love Rockstar games. I have Bully, I have GTA, and I thought, well, I'll give them a shot. They do really good at open world, and they knocked it out of the park with this game. And I wish that they would remaster this. I hope that me talking about, Manhunt again will bring out a remaster or even a reboot. Maybe a new game and maybe a sequel. Maybe Manhunt 3. I don't care what happens. But I do know because Saw is more popular now, we might not get that. But hopefully that happens in the near future. And this is not mainstream sometimes to where many people play it. And we need to get more people playing this. So that was my pick for, movie slash video game franchises that I think deserve more love. And I'm gonna pass it back over to Retro Mikey. Spooky Tales, everybody.
All right, Linda, you've really got my interest piqued, because these are two games I've had on my backlog for a long time. One of the reasons is I'm not too fond of playing the Wii motion games. But, I have Manhunt, and I do have Manhunt 2. Man, am I tempted to play these. These sound like really good games. So, Linda, maybe these have to go out the backlog and be played here real soon. Don't think I'm going to do a stream on them, but man, I think these are going to be pulled out for the month of October. Maybe. We'll see. Alright, guys. Let's check out and see what Dan from Midwest Media Show has for his selection on this horror.
Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Dan here with the Midwest Media Show. When I think of horror movies, I am not a very traditional guy. Yes, Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween, they're all classics, but none of those really scare me. But the one movie that has always scared me has been Alien, the original one, by Ridley Scott. And it came out in 1979, but even today it still holds up. Yeah, the special effects are a little dated, but the whole thing as a whole is still scary. It sent me an entire year of sleeping underneath the covers. I mean, I can't remember how old I was, but I know my dad showed it to me when I was pretty young, and this thing has been in my nightmares forever. And basically, it stars a young Sigourney Weaver, and she's on a spaceship coming home, the Nostromo, to Earth from, it's like a commercial carrier. And they get a distress call, and they all wake up out of the cryo sleep to see what is going on. They go down to the planet to see what the deal is, and they bring back an alien, and this thing just wreaks havoc all over the ship. Okay, so let's fast forward to 2014. And what did they do? Well, Creative Assembly decides they're going to come out with an Alien game called Alien Isolation. It came out about the time of the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. And actually, I think it got ports on the later systems as well. But it follows Sigourney Weaver's character from the first movie, her daughter. And her daughter goes to a space station because they supposedly had the black box from the Nostromo. So she's looking for her mom. Well, when she gets to the space station, things don't go right. She can't get back to her ship. She's stranded. And once you know it, there's an alien on board. Now, I would love to show you a whole bunch of this game, but I cannot get past 20 minutes. I can't handle this game. I last about 10 minutes and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. It's just too scary. It just takes me back to when I was young, and no, I just can't handle it. I'm sorry. But, so there it is. Alien and Alien Isolation, one of the top scary movies, at least on my list.
Alright guys, I'm back here hiding. Yep, this is what I remember from Alien movies. Remember my parents taking me when I was a little tiny kid. And it scared me so much that I ducked behind the seats. Didn't stay in my seats. I remember ducking behind, looking around the corner, looking around this corner. But all I remember is looking and seeing, what was I going to do? But yeah, Alien movies, or the original Alien movie, instant horror classic. After that, the movies tend to get more action oriented, which wasn't a total bad thing. Yeah, I love the Alien franchise. Great setup, great set of movies. And as for Alien Isolation, I agree. What I played of this game, I maybe have put an hour into it. It was back when it was on Game Pass. I bought a copy since then. I just haven't went back to it. But yeah, I remember playing a little bit of this. Like I said, about an hour, and this game was terrifying. The anxiety of just sitting there and hoping that the alien would pass you by, and you're just sitting there. All you have is that motion tracker thing. Yeah, this game, this will get your anxiety level. It gets to get your heart rate and blood pressure going through the roof. Great choice, Dan. All right, guys. Let's see what Iowa Retro Gamer Dad has for his selection. I bet you it's going to chill your bones.
What's going on, YouTube? Retro Mikey asked me a certain question. What was a horror movie, game, combo, whatever that I thought that was awesome, that I would recommend, and it's not necessarily mainstream. Nothing like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, stuff like that everybody kind of knows about. Very common and everything. So I decided, after thinking a while, it kind of took me a little bit, but what I came upon was something that I'm actually very fond of. It was one of my first introductions into the kind of like a horror fantasy kind of way. I originally wanted to do something like Event Horizon, the movie was, but I thought it was a really good movie. But this came down to being a game-movie combo, which follows a different storyline, but it's the same. Yeah, I'm talking about The Thing, on both the movie-wise from John Carpenter and also the video game. I was introduced first to the actual video game on the original Xbox. It's a very cool game, very good mechanics. You know, it's kind of like a survival horror game, and after a while you actually run into what is the main enemy in this. And yeah, so I mean, just kind of the basic story of it is and the movie really goes off the movie. But Kurt Russell and a group of U.S. team up in Antarctica are amazed by how these Norwegian camps are like chasing this dog down and trying to kill it, and they don't understand why. But they go to investigate later on, find out that all the Norwegians and stuff are gone, and there's this weird creature burned up. And long story short, turns out that they've discovered an alien species that can mimic humans and any life forms, and it starts, you know, they have to fight it off. It starts killing people and everything, and the whole aspect of you never know who's real and who's the alien is what's really awesome about it. So the game kind of follows something similar with it. I can't remember exactly how the story goes completely, but I think you play the other team that's involved in this one that goes missing in the first place, I believe. Very great movie, and an awesome game with some cool mechanics. I know one thing on this game that I enjoyed was you had to actually find fire and stuff like that to stay warm because you're actually out in Antarctica and you're wandering around and stuff. And of course the movie's got Kurt Russell in it. Mr. Big Trouble in Little China, Mr. Escape from New York, Snoops, Plissken, everything. You can't go wrong there. I definitely recommend you guys at least watch the movie this Halloween. So thank you, Retro Mikey, for asking me this question and letting me be a part of this. And yeah, I'll pass on to hopefully somebody else that can talk about this stuff. So thanks for watching, guys.
I really want to thank Iowa Retro Gamer Dad for taking us on a little trip to Antarctica. Boy, he's right. You got to find the heat. It's really, really cold out there. So, yeah, The Thing. It's a great movie. I heard the game is really good. I have it. It's something I still need to get to and play. Yeah. All right. Let's get ready. And I'll check out what horror franchise I'm going to talk about in this part 1 segment. Alright guys, what I'm going to talk about in this segment, my first one, part 1 of this segment, we are going to do a great franchise that I love playing, and that's Dead Rising. Yes, this is a sealed copy. I sold my original 360 copy. Got me an Xbox One one. I just haven't got around to opening this up and playing it. Back in the day, I had both these on the 360. Played through them. I have Dead Rising off the record. Haven't quite, been through that much. The only one I have never dabbled in at all, for some reason, I played a demo of 3, but for some reason I never got into it. And I have Dead Rising 4 digitally. I made it about halfway through it once. And we also have Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop, but we're not going to talk about this one. It's kind of a black sheep in the family of Dead Rising. Yeah, Dead Rising, awesome zombie franchise. Really enjoyed the storyline of the ones I have played. They have a few cartoonish anime movies. I have not watched any of them, surprisingly. But the Dead Rising video games, I'm going to say they are a must play. You've got to check out the original set. Like I said, I never played 3. We don't talk about the one on the Wii. So yeah, Dead Rising, that's one of my picks. Go check it out. And hey, next week we'll have part 2 of the Halloween Spooktacular. See you guys then.